MUKBANG. I hope you all the best in your future endeavors.
And fuck you, I quit.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie, and today we are back with another MUKBANG. Today we are going to be eating Chinese white glass noodles, which I feel like, what is it actually made out of?
Some type of honey.
Okay, never mind. He doesn't know. And so it's covered in black bean sauce, and it's the first time that we've done it. And I also have some long uncut mother-in-law's kimchi here, and then this is like also another Chinese kind of fried with cheesy shrimp. I've never had it before, so I'm kind of interested to taste it.
Either.
What do you mean? You gotta stop bringing home shit from the Chinese market and not know what you're doing. With that being said, I just want to give a big shout out to today's sponsors of the video, which you guys already know is Unbound, also formerly known as Lumerit. I feel like everyone gets mad at me like she's cheating on Lumerit. If you guys have never heard of Unbound and you're thinking about going to college, or maybe you did go to college for a couple years and then you were like, whoa, hold up. Why do I have so much debt? And then you kind of maybe couldn't complete your degree, or you just felt like this is too much pressure. Then Unbound is honestly the best way to solve that problem, because all you have to do is click the link in my description and fill out all the details that they need, which is what kind of degree are you trying to have, and how much time do you have to complete your degree, and how much are you trying to spend on your degree. And once you enter in that information, they actually email you back with a unique and specialized, I would call it like a college guidance, like a roadmap of how much it's gonna cost, what classes you need to take, because there's a lot of colleges that will push classes on you just because they want your coin. You don't even need it for your degree. They want your coin, and you want to keep your coin, okay? Now, let's say you get this and you say, wow, Stephanie was right for once. I love Unbound. Then you can actually take accredited college courses through Unbound. This is where you save a ton of money, because everything is done online. It's still accredited courses. Instead of going and paying for your dorm or paying for overhead costs or textbooks or all of these things, you save so much money by doing this. And then later, you actually take these credits and transfer them to virtually any school of your choosing, which is crazy. When I say this, sometimes people get confused. You're not graduating from Unbound College, okay? You can graduate from virtually any school of your choosing that you work hard to get into. Thank you so much, Unbound, for sponsoring today's video. Make sure to check the link in the description, because you don't need to be riddled with debt. And that's just the tea. I'm ready. Sorry, why do I sound like SpongeBob? I'm ready. Like, I just really want to try it. This is gonna be a messy video. Sorry, guys. I know some people love it, some people hate it, but there's no way around this one.
Damn, some of these are chunky.
Oh my gosh.
Hello. Oops.
Oh yeah. Hello. Okay. An attention ho. He said hello. Okay, let me try this kimchi. Oh my god.
Hello.
It's me.
Do you want to help me? I was gonna ask you to pull it.
Oh, I thought you meant like
Thank
take
you.
all the cheese. I was like, I can do that. Okay, I'm gonna try wrapping this one.
All of that? Oh.
I'm gonna leave some for the rest in case it's amazingly good. Okay. It's
actually really good. Have you had anything like this? Is it weird? How do you describe it? What am I tasting? Is it crab?
Yes.
Crab meat inside?
Yeah.
Gotta be
Oh my
crab
god,
meat.
no, it's not crab meat. You know what this
What is
tastes
it?
like? It tastes like, you know, the imitation crab? They shred it into fine pieces and then they fry that shit up. And then put a shrimp inside.
Oh, that makes sense.
That is like the most accurate taste I've ever had. You have to admit, that tastes just like that.
I think so. That's
I was
good.
judging you because it just looked not delicious. It looked so pale and like colorless that I was like, I don't think that this is gonna be good. But it's actually really good. I feel like the cheese adds to it. Cheese always adds to it. What's one thing cheese won't be good on? Leave it in the comments. Bet you can't find one. Chocolate chip cookies. I
Ice
lied.
cream.
Oh, that's true. No, there's like cream cheese ice cream, boo-boo. Today's topic of discussion is going to be one that I immensely fear for the rest of my life. This has just been one of my deepest, darkest fears. And if you guys have been watching me for a while, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. The fact that none of this is happening, we're in a simulation, and I love Elon Musk. What? No, that's not what I'm trying to say. So essentially, one of my biggest fears that I've had, other than everything else, is that I am actually very immensely scared of what your brain can do. Like, I feel like your brain and your thoughts, they're just so intense. Like, you can honestly believe things that aren't necessarily reality. And I think, to me, that is one of the scariest things ever.
What does that mean?
Because, like, you hear about these people who maybe have, like, a distorted version of reality, right? Which is, again, kind of scary, but I'm not terrified that it's gonna happen to me. But then you hear of people who truly believe that they are not where they are. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I've talked about this fear with you so many times, which is the fact that sometimes I'm scared that I am so Looney Tunes, right? That instead of sitting here and eating this delicious food with you, that I'm actually sitting in a marshmallow padded room in a psychiatric ward, and I'm just like thinking this in my head.
We will definitely reach a point that they're just gonna put your brain into a computer and just make the brain start stimulating all the feeling, all the emotion, like everything you're feeling right now, but without consuming any resources. Does that make sense?
So what does that happen?
You know, there's not a lot of resources, and then they just hook your brain up to a computer, and then your brain feels like it's going through everything you're going through right now.
So I'm a computer.
No, you're a brain. You're a brain that's attached to a computer.
Do I have boobs? Brain boobs? Computer boobs?
It doesn't matter. Your brain.
Do I have like 2 MacBook mouse pads as my boobs?
It could very much be real.
You think so? But would we know that we're in a computer, or would we just
No, we don't. That's where Elon Musk's theory is about. What are you talking about here?
I'm talking about people who lose their marbles. I'm not talking about all this. Now you're making me lose my marbles. So we're going to take a deep dive onto some of the internet's most mysterious mysteries of people who have documented their demise. And when I say demise, I mean their demise into insanity, right? Because here's the interesting thing. Back in the day, when someone would lose their marbles, or back in the day when something tragic would happen to somebody, unfortunately, that's just kind of like the way that the human mind is wired. I don't think that we should be super ashamed that we're interested in things like this. But back in the day, people were very, very interested. Like, even think about it. People were interested in reading people's journals after they died. Technically, it's a massive invasion of privacy, because this person probably didn't want nobody to read that. And just because now they're not there to physically protect you from snatching it up and publishing it, technically, it's one of those things that's just kind of a little too much, right? Because I do feel like, you know, I think it's unavoidable, and I think sometimes it's good to bring awareness to people and their passing and how they lived and how they conducted their lives. Those are all pretty much public knowledge. Those are all things that you can pretty much guarantee that, like, you know someone's gonna find out about this eventually, right? Like, you did, like, maybe you grew up here, you know, that's like public knowledge. But then I feel like a diary is just one of the most intimate parts of your life. And humans, we as humans, we can't understand. I mean, I'm sure there's like a heavy amount of psychology behind it, but we just love reading into that. We love reading every page, right? Because something about it.
Just a random person or someone famous?
Could be someone famous, but could be just a random person who had an unnatural demise, unnatural passing. Because you see the end result. You see that they were either taken away from their lives in this very dangerous way.
Isn't there like 13 Reasons or something? The TV show?
Oh, yeah.
No?
Oh, but she wanted everyone to read it.
Oh, got it.
She recorded the tapes, you know?
I see.
But I'm talking about specifically like diaries for this one. And so it's one of those things where you just kind of know where they're going to end up, and every page that you flip almost feels like a progression up until that point, whether it's by their fault or by somebody else's fault completely, you know? But it's just an interesting escalation of events. And so now I think with like things like Reddit, it's become even creepier. Because like I said, if you guys have watched my Reddit Mysteries video, then you know that Reddit is very interesting. I guess Reddit is almost like if you had a YouTube channel that you posted videos on, because then you start posting these things and everyone can have a chronological order of which video came after which video. And Reddit is interesting because any user, no one can private this information. If you are active on Reddit and you comment on somebody's thread or you create your own thread, it's gonna be documented and kept if I click on your username. This is so good.
Yeah?
It's so good.
Judge seafood by its look.
You know, people used to get so mad at me for calling imitation crab sticks seafood. And to me, some of the most unnerving stories on the internet are not even about, I hate to say this, but sometimes I get more creeped out by the unexplainable than like the sad explainable that happens, because I feel like I can process the emotion of sad. I can process, hey, this happened to somebody and that's not okay, and I get sad. That's kind of how I feel about true crime. I get scared, but mainly just sad. But with these stories, you just don't know how to feel, because you just don't know what's going on, and you don't know how that person is feeling. And so everything about these stories is just so immensely creepy. And so the first person that we're going to be talking about today is the Reddit account by the name of Life After Lyme. And so what we can kind of gather from their first post on Reddit is that this person was diagnosed with Lyme disease a year ago, and right now she's a single mother and she has a daughter who's 5 years old, and she's starting to kind of feel all of these symptoms. And so it seems like she has this mental fog, like she always just feels foggy every day, and you know, she's starting to feel more and more sad, and on top of that she's having loss of vision, and she's just very frustrated. Now, she posted this to the subreddit of Lyme, right? So it seems like a very appropriate place to post something like this. You know, it's not like she's posting it to No Sleep or Creepypasta or like, you know, anything like that. And so a couple people respond saying, hey, I think you need to maybe try to talk to a different doctor, maybe get a second opinion, especially with long-term diseases. You never just want to go to the first doctor, right? And so she's getting all of this, and what you find out from the comments is even more interesting in a sad way, because she starts saying, well, here's the thing, there's only one Lyme experienced doctor in my area, and he's the one that I'm going to, right? And so he starts explaining this, and she's just saying, like, I'm getting creeped out because I think my daughter has it too, and she's showing symptoms of it, and she's only 5 years old. And so everyone goes, yeah, I think you need to go see a new doctor. Now, she starts posting more questions on different threads. They're all Lyme related. I did see somebody say that these symptoms, like, they're probably the more treatable of the Lyme disease symptoms. So it's kind of like, you know, and then if it was you were diagnosed over a year ago, and then some people were saying those aren't even the most common symptoms, you know, so it's very confusing.
So people are questioning if she actually has Lyme disease. And
she confirmed that suspicion in later posts because, whoa. Listen, you guys don't even know. I'm going to talk about it on my other channel biz, but these dogs, in the past 12 hours of our lives, have been rampaged, destroyed by 2 dogs. And I'm not even saying that to be dramatic. I am talking about, it was so bad. Oh my god. Oh, and also, think about it. Like, literally, this is so relatable right now, because we went to a doctor for Mango because we went to the emergency room for Mango, and that doctor literally knew jack shit. And so now we really have to get a second opinion. And so I think it's just recommended that you get a second opinion, okay?
Okay.
And so everyone's saying, like, maybe go see a different doctor. And she did confirm this suspicion because at one point she commented back to somebody and said that, you know, she had tested negative for Lyme disease multiple times in the future or in the past. And then just recently, last year, she was diagnosed with it and it finally tested positive. And so, you know, her doctor was telling her it's because she has like cognitive Lyme disease, I believe is what he called it. And so that's why she might have been testing negative. I'm really bad with words today. I said negative. I'm like, it's eggnog. It's Christmas time. Egg-negative.
Dingo bells.
Dingle bells.
It's Jingle Bell, right?
Yeah.
But what is Dingle Bell?
Dingle Bell is what we call our dog because she leaves dingleberries all around the house because she has loose butt muscles.
So Dingle Bell is not a real word.
He goes around Christmas time writing cards. Happy holidays and Dingle Bells.
Who even says that? Happy holidays and Jingle Bells?
Really? You were just gonna come after my cute little joke like that? Like, that's rude. And so she's posting all of these, and again, they're all Lyme related subreddits, and so everybody's just genuinely concerned for her because this is a community of people who either have loved ones that are experiencing this or they themselves have experienced it, you know, and they just want truly everyone to get as much help as possible. And so they keep telling her, get a second opinion. Now she posts another post. And this one is more like, I don't know what to do. It's getting worse and worse by the day. And I don't feel any better. And I'm a single parent without a job because of my disease. I can't really work and I don't have a lot of financial stability right now. And every single time that I get treatment, like I think she uses a specific type of medicine. Yeah, it costs $150. And it's because she refuses to use, the doctor that's treating her refuses to use antibiotics, which is actually one of the most successful ways people treat Lyme disease. And so they wanted to go the holistic approach, which means that a lot of the times insurance probably doesn't cover it, right? And so it's $150 for this bottle. And so she was just kind of saying, I just don't know what to do, because I have this, my daughter is experiencing symptoms of it, I'm not feeling any better, I have to spend so much money on this, and my doctor gets mad at me. She was saying that, anytime I tell my doctor, hey, I don't think this treatment is working, they go,
you don't think it, but it is.
Imagine having a doctor like that.
No other doctor can figure out what other potential disease she has. You don't bite it off. You just But in China, we have a noodle that's just one string. It's just super, super long.
How long? How long? I'm gonna make it. How long? Sorry.
You know the handful noodle?
Yeah.
If you make successfully, because you're just folding it and pulling it and folding it and pulling it. So there's no break. So if nothing breaks, it's supposed to be very long string. But we couldn't even do 2 folds.
Why can't I use a pasta noodle maker and make a flat piece of pasta, fold that in half, keep stretching that, and then, it sounded really smart when I started, and then I realized that I don't know what I'm talking about, and I've never used a pasta maker before. So if you guys want to see me make the longest noodle ever alive in the history of the world, leave it in the comments because I'm gonna do it.
No,
I'm gonna do it. Anytime you say I'm not gonna do it, I'm gonna do it.
You're gonna make me do it.
Welcome to marriage. Da-da-da-da. And so she starts posting about all of these things, and people are feeling like, wait a second, this sounds like your doctor is dead ass scamming your ass, okay? You definitely need to go find a different doctor. It doesn't make sense. If you don't want to go the holistic approach, typically, your insurance company or whatever, you need to find somebody who doesn't want to go that approach because it just doesn't make sense for you, right? If you're not feeling better, you're not feeling better. And so she starts responding, and she's like, but there's no other, she starts getting kind of defensive with these people. So she's almost saying, hey, somebody help me, but when they help her, she's almost like, you don't know what you're talking about. Seriously, this medicine is supposed to be the most amazing thing ever. I know 5 people who are cured from it, etc., 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 etc. And she starts getting angrier and angrier. Now, at this point, you can only help someone so much before you go, okay, you gotta live your life, boo, right? And so that's what people started doing to her on Reddit.
Why is she even up there asking for opinion?
I don't know. Sometimes people ask, I've done this before. When I know that little boy ain't good for me, but I'm trying to get validation, so I go up to my friend and I'm like, hey, Biz, what do you think about him? He's nice, right? He'll probably settle down, right? He's nice to me, right? And then I'm trying to get her to say, yeah, he is. But then she'll be like,
hell no.
I saw him kissing Karen in the back of school,
And then what do you do?
Probably cry in the bathroom. What would you do if I was kissing Karen in the back of school?
Karen?
Yeah.
It's Karen now.
It was always been Karen.
Oh.
It's always been Karen. What would you do, huh?
I don't know. Walk away.
Really?
I'm just kidding.
You wouldn't be like, no, baby, no. Come back. Nope, no. I know you heard me drop a little piece of fried crab. And so she starts posting about how the medicine is actually starting to get worse on her. She says that she's starting to hallucinate. She says that she has psychotic breaks once in a while. And so it's just the weirdest thing because you see her go from this very sad but very communicative and expressive and intelligent woman, neatly typing out what's her problem, what she needs help on, what she wants advice on. And then she starts getting a little bit frantic. Almost that feeling of I don't know what to do. And so she keeps going, I don't know what to do. I almost get comatose when I take this medicine nowadays. I just lay there and I can't move. I feel paralysis and I start seeing these crazy, creepy things, right? And I just don't know how to do it. And so everybody starts responding, are you okay? You need to get off that medicine. You need to get off that medicine. And then you start seeing her posting it onto different subreddits. But they have nothing to do with Lyme disease anymore. They have more to do with conspiracy theories. And they're kind of the wild ones, you know? It's okay for someone to have a lot of interest, you know? Someone to be interested in health concerns and relationship advice, but also conspiracy theories, right? And those are like typically your most common conspiracy theories. But she had some strange ones where she didn't believe that a pizza was a real pizza. Like a pizza restaurant wasn't a real restaurant.
So there's a group of people out there believe.
No, she posted that onto the conspiracy subreddit.
Oh.
Yeah, and it sounded like a local restaurant. It wasn't even like one of those restaurant conspiracies of like the Cheesecake Factory is actually serving frozen food.
Wait,
like
what's
it
happening?
wasn't.
So she say this so-and-so restaurant is not a real restaurant?
Yeah, and it's very confusing. And you know what? I think she got it from Uber Eats. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I use Uber Eats sometimes. But did you know that Uber Eats, they have a lot of ghost kitchens is what they call it? Where it's not a real restaurant. It's a commercial kitchen.
It's listed on Uber Eats.
Yeah. And they made it sound and look like a restaurant, but it's technically a commercial kitchen. So when you Yelp it, it doesn't exist because it's not a restaurant.
They actually do that?
Yeah.
And that's okay to do?
I don't know.
How did you find out about it?
Because I have experienced it multiple times, and then the reviews are always shitty. And
so
then,
you Googled this?
Yeah.
You Googled the restaurant?
Yeah, and there's like
say
no
it's a ghost
reviews.
Restaurant.
Except for Yelp will say, oh, I found them on Uber Eats and it was so shitty.
And they don't have a location on their app. No address.
Or sometimes it has an address to like just a kitchen. It's not a restaurant. Like a commercial kitchen where people might like make food for meal prep, like professional meal prep services might cook their food, you know?
Is that not okay? Is that like scamming people? Well, it is Uber Eats. It's not Uber restaurant, so.
That's true, but how do you know some of these people aren't just cooking it in their own kitchen?
That's true.
Because when you think about it.
But I'm sure you need some kind of license to sell on Uber Eats.
But how do you know?
Maybe you can test it out.
Oh my
Test out
god.
the theory.
Oh my god, should I? I'm gonna get sued. No, but essentially, I just feel like it doesn't make sense because when you think about it, a restaurant is open. They're taking in walk-in customers. They're taking in to-go orders. And so Postmates, Uber Eats, all of these things are just an additional way for them to get their food and get more business, right?
Yeah.
But that means that they're already operating. And so this is not something extra that they have to do. But let's say you're like, listen, I want to become a ghost kitchen and open up a commercial kitchen where I'm also going to post it on Uber Eats. What are you going to do? Sit around in that commercial kitchen, not making any money, just sitting around waiting for an Uber Eats order? So that's why I never order from those places, because I'm like, I'm pretty certain some person is making it in their home kitchen and their dog is just running around and their like kids are sticking their fingers in my spaghetti, which is fine.
That's how you cook.
Which is fine, but like, you know, I'm like, right. And then she starts talking about how she has experienced her ex of 3 years now being so vicious, so horrendous to her, and how him and his new girlfriend are trying to take away their daughter from her because the daughter is experiencing, you know, symptoms of Lyme disease, which is honestly making the daughter depressed. And so she said that her 5-year-old daughter actually looked at her and said, Mommy, I want to hurt myself. And so she posted this onto Reddit, and so her baby daddy, her ex-boyfriend, tried to take, and I think was successful in taking away her child from her. And so she kind of saw this as the most evil thing somebody could do. She did not see this as somebody who was trying to help the daughter or anything like that. And so she posted that onto Reddit, and that was the last anything that you could read from her that made any sense at all. But she went on to post for another like 2 years of just some of the craziest gibberish on just a plethora of threads. No
Like what?
sleep.
Okay, so she posts like not words or just random stuff.
Random stuff.
Like, is she trying to like say something or she?
Nobody knows. Like, you honestly can't decipher what she's trying to say. It seems like mumbled gibberish. But here's the thing. It's not like it's done so consistently that it's not just 1 or 2 posts. It's multiple posts over a long span of time.
And then stop.
The account is deleted.
She deleted them?
I don't know. I think I got deleted maybe 3 months ago. Yeah, but up until then, I mean, she was posting all of those things.
And what are people thinking?
People think that she is she's like, we just saw somebody's progression into insanity. Because here's the thing, she wasn't getting a lot of like clout or anything like that from this. It's not like she was getting, major news networks to be like, oh my God, we need to go check on this, or a Reddit mystery, ooh, right? It's just, she almost went undetected for a majority of the time, posting these crazy things. So really, people can't seem to find like, what is the motive? What is the purpose? Why would somebody just sit there and consistently over months and months and months take their time out to write gibberish onto Reddit, especially after all of the things that she's been saying?
ARG?
It doesn't seem like it is, yeah. No, it doesn't. I mean, there's tons of ARGs on Reddit, and there's, oh my gosh, I want to tell you guys about a really creepy ARG that I recently got into.
You got tricked?
No.
You got played.
I got played. Sorry. But nobody knows if she actually was going insane or if she did this to become a Reddit mystery. None of it just makes sense.
Nothing else. That's it. Just like that, she's gone. Nobody knows anything else. Well, I hope she's okay. Just getting help.
You sound like a dad right now. I'm like, what happened? Ooh, mysterious. And you're like,
I hope the very best for her and her future endeavors.
that was a line that I used in all the emails that I sent when I was quitting my jobs because I felt like I was going to get fired. So I was like, I got to quit first.
I hope you all the best.
I hope you all the best in your future endeavors.
I apologize for the inconvenience that this may have caused. I appreciated your guidance in all aspects of this position.
And fuck you, I quit.
No! So, nobody knows what happened. And some people think that this is one of the more interesting things because it's kind of a situation where I feel like that's actually a lot of people's fears. Like, would you rather... Are you scared of losing your marbles?
Me? No.
Yeah.
No.
You're not? Why?
No.
Because you think it hurts the people around you more?
Yeah. I'm scared you losing your marble even more. You don't think so? It's like sometimes what my grandparents say, like they're scared to be the first one to die. Oh no, they're scared to be the second one to die.
Your grandma's like,
I'm so scared to be the first one to die out of me and your grandpa, so...
Sending this clip to her. Translating in Chinese.
They're scared of being the first one to have like dementia. I'm trying to think. I wonder if my grandma realized what was happening.
Does she have dementia?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I don't think do you realize?
No.
Like maybe it's different case by case, but I don't think my grandma realized at
She
all.
doesn't even know who you are. You think she would realize that?
Okay, but well, that got really dark. Yeah, I went to go visit her in Korea and she had no idea who I was. But you know what was the saddest part? She was still such a kind human. Okay, she's alive right now. I make it sound like she's not, but she's alive, thankfully. I'm lucky right now. But it's so crazy because I went up to her and I was like, hi, Money, which means grandma, right? And I'm like, hi, Money, 보고 싶었어, which means like, I miss you, And then I tried to give her a hug and she looked so scared all of a sudden, right? And so she had her caretaker with her and the caretaker was saying like, obviously I know that we had I believe we were like, did we talk on the phone or did my dad tell us? Well, somebody had told us she might not remember us, so don't be alarmed, right?
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen her in like a year or two or something, right? And so this was in Korea. It's not like she's in LA and I'm not visiting her. She's in Korea right now. And so, yeah, so I went up to her and she seemed alarmed and so I pulled back and then she asked the caretaker who I was. And then the caretaker was like, oh, that's your youngest granddaughter, Stephanie, And then she looked at me and like, you can see that she feels so bad for not remembering me. So she's trying to act like she remembers me just so she won't hurt my feelings.
Really?
Remember, she kept doing that. Like, even when we went to lunch, I don't know if you didn't pick up on it because, we were all speaking Korean. Yeah. But, like, no, to me and my sister, she kept acting like she remembered us because she didn't want to hurt our feelings.
So she knew then?
No, she didn't know. But I think
so
maybe
interesting.
even if you have, I don't want to say like even if you have dementia because the only thing that dementia causes is, well, all of the symptoms that dementia causes. But I think it's like crazy that she still picks up on like microfacial expressions.
Okay, you should tell them the story of what happened to your dad whenever he picks her up in the car.
What happened?
Because she always treats your dad like a taxi driver.
Oh my god!
So sad, but also so funny. Like, it's funny because, like, you can't be so sad about everything that happens when you have a family member with dementia. Otherwise, every single person in your family will just be crying nonstop for 25 years, right? So, we have to try to find at least some sort of, like, light cuteness in a story, right? And
Your dad finds it funny.
My dad thinks it's fucking hilarious. That's like my dad's part hearty joke for some reason. It's okay, so my dad was living in Korea, and so he was like the one that was like the point person of the family, because we're all in the States and like the plane tickets are expensive and it's just like really intense, right? And so we couldn't go out and see her as much as we wanted to, but my dad being in Korea, he would always drive out and like pick her up for lunch and stuff. And so then the caretaker doesn't really come to you with lunch, right? Or come to you for lunch. So he would park in the front of this like nursing home. He would get out, go in, and then like the caretaker would bring her out to the lobby, and then they would walk her to the car, and my dad would open the backseat car door, make sure she's seat belted, and then he would go around to the front and he would get in the car. Now, what he's expecting is he's already mentally prepared for, who are you, or like, oh, you don't remember me, I'm your daughter's husband, and like just kind of reinform her, right? Mm-hmm. But then she'd go,
excuse me, taxi driver.
And then my dad would look back like,
what did she just say?
And then she goes,
taxi driver, kisa,
which means like driver, right? Mm-hmm. Like a chauffeur. Like kisa means chauffeur, not taxi driver, right? And then she would give her address in the States.
No.
Yeah, when she was younger, like when she didn't need caretakers 24/7, she had her own apartment, or like not an apartment, but like her own like senior living.
Sad.
Yeah.
Her memory just froze in
that time, yeah.
Oh my God,
but what's so even weirder? She, because I look like my mom, I guess, when she was younger, which is weird because everyone says I look more like my dad. But apparently I looked like my mom when I was younger.
But that's her daughter. So
yeah.
Maybe she sees her
and
daughter.
And so every time there's like a weird progression that I go through every time I saw her after she started getting dementia really badly. Because it would go from like,
oh, you're my granddaughter, to, oh, you're my daughter, like, why aren't you in school?
And then it would, yeah, because she would think that I'm my mom and I'm this age, and like, what are you doing right now?
So her memory froze at that time.
Yeah. So then it would progress to like, wait, you're not my daughter, you're my granddaughter? When did you get this old? And I'm like, I literally saw you like twice a week, every week of my life, so up until this point,
So what does that feel like for her?
That's what I'm saying. And
when they found out, like your dad.
Yeah.
Now, didn't you say your dad eventually tells her, oh, I'm your son-in-law?
Yeah.
And then she realizes, right? For a second, at least.
Yeah. Sometimes he says it takes longer and longer, and sometimes he says that she seems like stressed out because it's almost like she doesn't understand.
Oh my God,
so
that's like the feeling of you trying to like
remember something that's just
no. It's like you trying to mess with their
reality.
Belief. Yeah, because you have a belief of this, and then today somebody comes come up to you and say this guy has been read.
Yeah. And so then when she would be too stressed, he would just be the chauffeur for the day. And then she would be like,
but why are you buying me lunch?
Like, why are you here? And then he'd be like,
I think you're pretty.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden she's like 12 again. And she's like, really? No, but it's so weird because you would think that when you get dementia, or maybe it's different per person, but I was always prepped because like when you have someone in your family that gets dementia, everybody tries to prep everybody. Everybody's saying, hey, we've been reading about Alzheimer's. This is what happens. And so everybody's just trying to emotionally prepare, right? And so I prepared for just kind of like somebody who, like my grandma was obviously not going to remember everything that happened, right? But I kind of more prepared for somebody who like just wasn't her at all, like didn't act like her at all. So I was more prepared for like a complete shift, of like, okay, she's not going to remember me sometimes. Okay, she's going to forget that I'm her granddaughter sometimes, but like a complete shift of personality too, right? But up until this day, my grandma, she always remembers to bring a little compact mirror with her anywhere she goes. And after she eats, she applies lipstick and checks up on her face and powders it. And so it's so interesting because I was always under the belief that when you have dementia, you kind of lose that too, I guess. But I think like maybe a habit is a habit.
You know what I would do? Obviously, she's not my grandma, right? I'm just saying if my grandma ever has dementia, since she really can't remember anything or anybody, I would literally make her dream come true. Her favorite celebrity is, I don't know.
That's really bad
I would come
advice.
up to, hey, this is, I would just dress up and come in and say, hey, I'm so-and-so. And give her the time of her life.
That sounds weird.
Why?
He's like, hi, I'm Jay Chow. I'm here to give you a performance. And then sings a Jay Chow song.
I feel like your grandma would believe it though.
No.
Yes, she would.
No, she wouldn't. She understands. If you showed up and was like,
Oh, I'm your favorite olden day Korean singer. I'm gonna give you a, song of your life.
right, and you started singing, she'd look at me and be like,
I don't know who you are, sorry, but who the hell is he? He seems prettier on TV, no?
and then I'd be like, yeah, I know. You just got catfish, lady.
I don't know. I just feel like at that point, instead of trying to make them remember or correct anything, you just...
But
What?
you know what's crazy? She has multiple kids, right? And multiple kids' spouses and tons of grandkids. Okay, 3. She has 3 grandkids. But she never forgets my mom. Like, even my mom's voice, she never says, who is this?
So your mom, but she forgets her other kids.
Yeah. Sorry, no offense. Yeah, never forgets my mom. But they were the closest growing up.
There you go.
Like, my mom always clung on to her because my mom was the youngest. And so, like, her older sister and her brother, they would, like, go out and, like, do things. But my mom would always stay home with her. And so she always remembers my mom.
That's sweet.
It's so interesting. But my grandpa also had Parkinson's, so he had dementia, right? And I'm just nervous because apparently it's every other generation. So me and my sister are really freaking out right now.
Honey, I'm just gonna tell you the truth.
What?
We've been together for 15 years.
In my head, I think I'm this young, vibrant. I'm like,
I'm sorry, I'm 22.
but in reality, I'm like 80, sitting here like, dun dun, and MUKBANG. Oh, like we just got engaged. Oh.
Yeah, we have 3 grandchild.
Our dog. Yeah. I'd be scared.
You be scared. I be scared.
Yeah, you should be scared. Does your grandparent? No, they're fine. Yeah, I heard it's every other generation. Leave it in the comments. Have you guys heard that? That's what my sister said. But my mom's been working out, so hopefully she doesn't get dementia. I know some people think that's crazy, but I heard it's true.
True what?
That if you are like working out, it delays or stalls or maybe prevents dementia. So I don't know, bits. My mom's a table tennis champion. That's all I gotta say about it. Can you not do this? That's like all I have to say, okay? That's like my bragging points, okay? My sister's a pharmacist. My mom was a former national ping pong champion for South motherfucking Korea, okay? He's going... You see his forehead vein just like popping out. And I'm a MUKBANGER / gamer. I love you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow.